I don't know why I was chosen, but the package was left at my door. On the surface, it seemed like your typical whistleblower story, but as I looked closer, I could see that this was something else. Secret bank accounts, government corruption, forged documents, payoffs, hush money, and lots of zeros. And at the end of these zeros, there was one name: Collingwood. My editor, Glenn, didn't think the story was enough.
I don't think this is enough. Follow the money. But do it fast.
This story would make any journalist a household name, and I was determined to be the one to make it public. The more I was drawn to Conrad Collingwood and his business affairs, the more I was drawn to his personal ones. Carol was young to be on her third marriage. Despite being with Conrad 5 years, I was doubtful this would be her last. Glenn was worried I was too focused on her, but my gut told me she had the answers I needed. Beautiful weather we're having.
Weather doesn't make for stimulating conversation.
Politics, business.
I don't like to insert myself where I'm not wanted.
Maybe you've been told that too much.
Maybe I'm keeping the wrong company.
Even now?
I don't even know you.
I think you got something, though.
Well, if you got something, you have to use it. And I think you have something. It's just like him with his Red Door meetings. I guess I'll be walking home. It was nice to meet you.
She had left me a clue even if she didn't mean to. Red Door. Conrad's bar, the trophy room. I knew what I had to do. Glenn had already told me my next steps.
You need more than that. He's hiding money, yes, but where?
I know it's offshore, and I know it's a lot.
That's not enough. Get more.
How?
Do what you always do. Chase it down. You need to get to the source.
I knew what I had to do. I just didn't want to do it. Meeting him on his turf was risky. He appeared to be the calm, collected businessman that everyone else saw. But day after day, I saw new sides of him. Something dark seemed to be lingering under the surface, and the only other person who seemed to see it was Carol. Getting him alone was a risk not only to my safety, but my career. Sir, just have a couple of questions.
Oh, yes. Miss Jane Parker. Let me begin with one of my own. Do you enjoy your life?
What do you mean?
Are you happy with your life? Do you like it the way that it is?
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
You're not sorry. Not now. But you will be if what you're investigating gets out. Yeah, I know all about what you're investigating. Be smart. Be really, really smart.
Thank you for your time, sir. I left with more questions than before. How did he know my name? How far would he go to keep this quiet? All I knew was this guy was used to getting what he wanted, and I wasn't willing to give it to him. I knew a threat when I heard one, and I wasn't sticking around to see if he was serious.
You know, for a smart person, you sure are dumb.
Good one.
You're making this harder than it needs to be.
Always gets what he wants. I like this better. A little more privacy. It's just you, me.
I think you misunderstood.
Shut up! Look, I'm gonna make you an offer, but before you say anything, I need you to understand that this is in your best interest. I'm gonna give you a lot of money. I mean, life-changing money. So whether you decide to have a long and happy life, or a short and pain-filled one, well, I mean, that's entirely up to you. Accept the transfer, walk away, and you live that long and happy life. Tell your editor, Glenn, that the story fell through, and never say anything to anybody. Or, I feel like you understand the rest of that. So push it. Push it! See? Look at that. That wasn't hard, was it, Jane? It was an absolute pleasure doing business with you, partner.
It was rare that someone knocked on my door, but it always meant trouble. Mrs. Collingwood? A little late. Can't you see I've had worse today? What have I done to deserve this?
I gave you everything you needed to run that story. So why didn't you?
It was you.
Of course it was me. Who else is that close to him? Who else hates him as much as I do?
I'm working on it. There's more to the story.
Work faster.
He just kidnapped me and beat the shit out of me. That's the only incentive I need to take this thing to print. And yet I find myself regretting some recent decisions.
And out of all the two-bit hacks and all the dirty rags in this city, I chose you. I thought you had integrity. I gave you the best story of your career on a goddamn silver platter, and look what you did. You went running to him.
Well, if it makes you feel better, he was on to me the whole time.
Well, it doesn't. You should have published that story. I trusted you. Now look what you've done.
What'd you really come here for? You didn't come all the way down here just to tell me how to do my job.
I want you to run that story hard, fast, and thoroughly. Start acting like a goddamn decent human being.
Instead of an animal.
Yes.
Well, I don't think animals and humans are all that different. We both have instincts, impulses that we need to act on to survive, to live. This was one decision I was sure of.
So what's the plan?
I can't do it. I'll call my editor, give him the proof, and it'll be published by morning. We could be long gone by the time the public sees it.
Thank you. It does mean a lot to me. Call him now?
I will. We'll go meet him as soon as we can. If you trust in anything, trust in my integrity. I didn't know why Glenn chose such a secluded spot to meet. I didn't mind giving everything, and I was eager to get out of town with the money. And her. Carol didn't know about the bribe, and that I took it. But I'm hoping she would take it better when we were lying on a hot, sunny beach.
Glenn isn't coming.
My first thought was to protect her. My second, myself. And my third,
Look, honey,
betrayal.
I brought her right to you. I even brought the canister. I brought her here, and I brought that.
Should have known that you two would.
Shut up! You had the money. Why didn't you just disappear?
The world deserves to know what you and your corrupt friends are doing.
You are one of my corrupt friends. You became implicated the second you took that money. Where do you think it came from? You profited just like me.
I guess integrity really is dead.
You see what you made me do? I mean, I was gonna have to do it anyway, but not here, not like this, in this shithole. You know, this whole time that you were watching us, we were watching you.
She came out of nowhere, like the angel of death from the shadows. My confusion only grew when she put the gun in my hands. I had hoped to never hold a gun in my life, but a lot of hopes are being crushed today. I had no idea she was the one surveilling us this whole time. As though it was one last test of my integrity,
Hello, sir.
I just couldn't pull the trigger.
It's done.
As a surprise to me, my final thoughts were of Carol. That dame just stuck with me to the end.